Hello and welcome to Night Chat. But, okay. Oh boy. Well, I believed that, so I say it over and over and I'll say it again. Hello and welcome to Night Chat. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again, not afraid to say it. There's a lot of truthers out there, thank God for that, but we have to stick with change, because if things don't change, the only change we're going to keep seeing is the bad kind change, where things are getting worse and worse and worse. Now, like I said before too, I'm almost 50, so I've had a pretty good life overall. When I think about all the times I've been hurt, it's either been from a broken heart, from a lying woman, or from the government intervening in my life by violating the Constitution, human rights, and gang stalking me. It is what it is. America ever faced this tragedy in our history, where the government, somewhere along the line, decided to turn their weapons on we the people. And the reason they're being sneaky about it is because they knew if you knew, it'd be game over. They know that. That's why they're being sneaky. Because what they're doing violates many laws in the books. But I always think about the number one law, which is crimes against humanity. Now, they had plenty of opportunity to look at the corruption, to look at the treason, to look at the real terrorists, which are the colonels and the army men operating these black op programs. There should never be a black op program against any American citizen, especially on our soil. But it's order out of chaos. See, they want to create the chaos and then come in as the saviors to create the order. The same thugs that are doing this want to be ruling over you and me, because they enjoy it. They love hurting us. So, based on what you and me do, legally and peacefully, of course, but based on if we just sweep it under the rug, or if we decide to legally strike back, is going to determine the outcome of where this path is taking us. It's painted nice and pretty on the outside, but it's really a bunch of poison inside the cookie jar. It's not sweet, it's sour. There's no way the government does not know these black programs are going on. There's no way. Which means that they're participating in these programs, which is crimes against we the people. I always, I watch videos, and it bothers me to see when I see women crying, when I see them picking on women. It just shows you how low, and I mean low, these thugs really are. Now, I've hammered it over and over, I've said it before, I'll say it again, there's really no evidence. When you talk about the paranormal, the supernatural, there's really no evidence of aliens being here for the last 6,000 years. You got evidence of the pyramids and evidence of the gray aliens and the Nephilim, the hybrids, being here 6,000 years ago, right after the fall of man and woman. You see, man and woman were in paradise in the Garden of Eden. God said, do not eat from the tree of knowledge, because if you do, you will die. When they disobeyed God, they ate from the tree of knowledge, is when they fell away. And we inherited that same fall, which is disobedience to the Lord. Right after that, you have different types of angels coming down to earth and mingling with our women, mating with our women, and making these hybrid humanoids that are part human and part fallen angel. There's different types of angels, okay? So if I say a gray alien, part human, I don't know exactly what it is. It's whatever is aboard that ship. There's a gray alien present, there's a reptilian hybrid present sometimes, there's an insectoid creature. Whatever is aboard that ship is impregnating the women with their DNA. Now, 6,000 years ago, they were here. There's all kinds of signs, all kinds of evidence. God sent a giant flood and destroyed them because they were getting vicious. They were eating us up. They were crossing all the DNA, doing splicing, genetic splicing. So God wiped them away. But it says in the Bible, there's a warning. It says in the time of Noah, which was the time they were here last, it says it will be the same way in the end times. Now, if you look around, it's happening all over again. Now, popular study says the abductions began around 1920. And by the 40s, they began to progress. It became a worldwide global epidemic. It's always the same thing. There's a laboratory, there's a pregnant human woman, and then before birth or right after birth, there's a missing baby. That's part creature, part human. Because they've been sticking them into our government. They're running all the major hospitals, all the major police departments, and they're demonic in nature. That's why popular study says when a victim cries out for Jesus Christ, the abduction immediately stops. It's telling you right there, it's not really a space alien from Planet 9, but more of an interdimensional being that's demonic in nature. Now when it comes to the demonic realm, the only defense you got is the Word of God. To understand that our Creator, God, loves us so much that He came as a man to earth, showed us how to walk, and then we appreciated Him so much that we beat Him up, we whipped Him, we put Him on a cross and killed Him. That's exactly what mankind did to their own Creator. That's the reward we gave Him. It just shows you the evilness of the human heart, let alone creatures that are mingling with our women. Now, if you and me do not get off our duffs, get out there and protest peacefully and legally, get flyers out there, get the main sheeple to wake up, then our goose is cooked. You got it? There's all these different enlightenments like Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, but there's only one way to God, and that's through His Son, Jesus Christ, who came and died for you and me so we can be saved, we can be obedient, and live for all eternity if we surrender over to God completely. Easy to do. You gotta get baptized. When you're ready, you gotta be baptized. Then you just follow the 10 Commandments, plus you forgive your enemies. You love your enemies, forgive them. And then pray daily to God. It's real simple. Most of us can't seem to get it right because we can't let go of sex. It's not because we go out and murder people, or because we're stealing people's property, or because we're coveting people's items. It's more because we really just can't let go of sex. I mean, there's different reasons why, but mostly the majority is because of sex. You can have all the sex you want if you get married and do things the right way, the way God intended for them to be in the beginning. God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So just because man and woman fell away from paradise does not give us an excuse to just do anything we want. And that's what Aleister Crowley would say. Do what thou wilt. Do whatever you want. Aleister Crowley, the same dark priest that killed little children as Satan and opened up all these portals and let the gray aliens come through in 1920, 1930. He was actually communicating to a being named Lamb. It was just like a space alien, big old head, tiny little mouth, basically no nose. Aleister Crowley is mentioned by many pop star singers in the 80s, they praise him, they love him. Why would pop star singers praise Aleister Crowley, a man who murdered little children, to the devil? Little thinking goes a long way. Now he opened the portals, the gray aliens began showing up, the abductions began all over again like it was 6,000 years ago, and they're doing the same things they did a long time ago, which is putting their children into position, but now they perfected their size. They're not giants because they knew they would stand out. They're the same height as you and me. And they're positioning them into like, they're politicians, like I've said before many times. They're doctors, they're lawyers. And in the scheme of things, they're doing a big Broadway play to maneuver us into a certain position, which is basically lockdown, where they can have their way with you. You know, all this stuff that we see, and then there's all this stuff we don't see. What it basically comes down to is there's a war between God and the devil. And the most important thing is to learn about who created you, give him honor and praise, and follow his 10 commandments. See, we're saved by the grace of Jesus, which means he forgives you out of love. But once you're forgiven, you can't just go out there and do whatever you want to do. You got to follow the commandments. He said, heaven and earth will pass away, but my law will never pass away. That's a hint. If we don't organize and peacefully, if we don't organize peacefully, if we don't get out there, if we don't stop these criminals from running amok, then you and me, our fate is sealed. We are completely doomed. You got it? Doomed. It's in a game. So there's a lot of truthers out there. I like Alex Jones. There's many David Icke. But we need to focus more on, okay, we got the evidence. We know they're breaking the law. What do you do when you know they're breaking the law? What do you do? That's when you begin prosecuting. And if they're found guilty, you throw away the key. I'm not into capital punishment. I don't believe in capital punishment. I just don't believe that anyone has the right to murder. It's my own personal belief. But if we just sit around and we don't begin investigating, we need a neutral team of people to go into the top of the government and survey everything. Like a robot. This is in the name of Homeland Security. The real Homeland Security is to keep you and me safe from these thugs that want nothing more than to put us on a mantle like a damn animal. You know, in the old days, the hunters would go shoot a moose or a lion in Africa, and they would mantle their head on the wall. Like, look what I caught, look at my trophy. That's what they want to do to mankind. Put us up on the wall like a trophy. Alex Jones has so much power. He has a huge audience. If he really wanted to, he can get protesting going peacefully. He can get policies in place. He can get more things changed than chicken McNuggets. I don't want to bash him. I mean, he found out there was silicone in the chicken McNuggets, and he got it taken out. That was great. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't have known most of the stuff I knew or know if it wasn't for Alex Jones, for watching Alex Jones. But he needs to step up to the plate, and he is the movement. And if he, you know, you can judge a person by not what they say, but what they do. And I want to see arrest. And I'm not saying arrest innocent people. I'm saying that there's, and I know there are because I've been gang stalked myself. I know there's corruption inside the government. So I'm saying we got to find out who the criminals are. I don't care if they're a general, a 4-star general. I don't care if you got 1,000 stars. It doesn't impress me. If you're hurting people, if you're killing people, if you're betraying your own American people, you need to go to prison. Period. That's it. End the conversation. That's it. Because, you know, the Nazi party, they followed Hitler. And when they were at Nuremberg trial, They said, oh, we did it because we were ordered to do it. Well, you know what? That doesn't stand up in court. I don't care if you're ordered to hurt people. If you're violating the Constitution, if you're violating human rights, you're guilty, my friend. You're 100% guilty. And you're a danger to society, and you need to be thrown away. That's it. Again, get your heart right with Jesus, because we're entering some really dark times that are coming up, known as Armageddon. It's where the Antichrist is gonna he has plans to mop up the human race. He hates humans because we remind them of God. See, God loves us so much, and the devil can't reach God because he got kicked out of heaven. There was a war in heaven. He got kicked out of heaven. 1 out of every 3 angels followed him. So now he can't get to God. So to show God how much he hates him, he wants to hurt you and me. We're on the dinner menu. But the good news is that if we do take peaceful action, at Gandhi, we get out there peacefully and we protest and we reach the American people, the good news is we can actually turn this around. I don't think it's completely locked in yet. I don't think they have completely taken us over yet. I think they're about there, but no, I don't think they've done it. I think there's a bunch of hope for you and me if we can get out there and wake people up. That's it. Hey, thanks for watching. Get your heart right with God, and God bless all of you out there.